What up? It's your boy DJ PK, and we are back with a new installment. Unfortunately, my RetroTink crapped out on me, and it barely captures a signal. It's capturing in only black and white, and I think like no audio. It's dead. I'm gonna have to get a new one. So, though I can still capture more modern games. So, I thought, what happened here? I thought we could maybe start a little bit of, okay, I guess this crapped out too. That's awesome. I thought we could start some Okami. Oh, yeah. Wow, that's hot. That's not a good sign. Okay. Maybe I need to get a new power adapter. Dear heavens. Yeah, that's hot. I'm gonna start a fire live on YouTube. Is this okay? Okay, well, apparently that worked. Everything's breaking around me. Alright, let's go ahead and transition. Okay. I wanted to give you guys a bit of this beautiful game. I love this game. It's awesome. The artwork is beautiful, the story is beautiful, the music, everything about this game is good. This is top tier. One of my favorite games. We're gonna start a new one, okay? Unfortunately, this is gonna be a little bit of a short video. But I'm playing this in English because the Japanese is just so much. There's so much Japanese that this is just, it would be obliterating for my Japanese level right now. I'm actually playing this in Japanese, privately. And having played this previously, it really helps my understanding of the Japanese that they're saying. But there is a lot of difficult kanji. Because they're using like old folklore stories. So there's going to be a lot of unusual kanji in this story. So, but anyways, let's jump into it. This game is beautiful. If you haven't played it, please play it. Long, long ago, a tiny hamlet known as Kamiki lay nestled in a grove of proud and beautiful cherry blossoms. Each and every tree around the quiet burg was honored as a god. However, the village was not without its dark secrets. To satiate the appetite of Orochi, a fearsome cave-dwelling beast, a young maiden was offered as a sacrifice at the annual festival. With a body like a mountain and 8 heads mounted on necks the size of tree trunks, its blood-red eyes alone were said to curse anyone who gazed into them. No one dared disobey the horrific beast. You know, I gotta give them props. The translation of this is pretty spot on, and I think they did a good job making it like poetic, like a storybook. So they did a really good job. By the way, when I was reading this in Japanese, it took me forever. Like, much longer than it should have. When the night of the sacrifice drew near, a mysterious white wolf appeared outside the village. This wolf, its coat as brilliant as snow, was dubbed Shiranui. The wolf kept a watchful eye on anyone who ventured outside the village and made a habit of patrolling the streets at night. People assumed the wolf to be a familiar of Orochi. This is actually based off of a real Japanese legend that is very interesting. So I recommend if you like folklore and stuff like that, you should look up these characters, Shiranui, Orochi, and you can read about their stories. They're really fun. This is a loose adaptation, but many of the characters, if you read the folklore, you'll understand who these characters are much more than what the story clearly states. One villager took it upon himself to face the fearsome Shiranui. The warrior, Nagi, attempted many times to challenge the wolf, but his attempts were thwarted by Shiranui's swift movements. Before long, the night of the accursed festival had arrived. A white-plumed arrow heralded the coming sacrifice. Piercing the sky, the arrow sunk its shaft squarely into the home of Nami, the village's most beautiful maiden. Nagi, harboring a secret love for Nami, was enraged by this sign. Determined to put an end to Orochi once and for all, Nagi traveled to the beast's cave in place of his beloved. The Moon Cave, a place as dark as evil itself, served as Orochi's home. As Nagi stood bravely before the entrance, a beast appeared, eyes glowing crimson upon 8 thrashing necks. Orochi stood tall before him, anxious for another sacrifice. Nagi leapt with incredible grace, swinging his blade valiantly. On and on he sliced, well into the moonless night. But Orochi's hide was like steel. The blade left nary a scratch. At long last, Nagi, his energy spent from the intense battle, dropped to his knees, fatigued and gasping for breath. He knew he was staring death in the face. It was then that the wolf appeared. As if to protect Nagi, it stood its ground before Orochi. In the darkness of the cave, the wolf's coat shone brilliantly. Alas, it was Shiranui, the wolf that dwelled outside the village. Bearing its fearsome claws, Shiranui leapt toward Orochi. Orochi reared its terrifying heads, readying its fangs for battle. The two beasts struggled wildly, thrashing in the darkness. Mysterious and terrifying, the spectacle continued. Shiranui summoned gusts of divine wind to counter Orochi's flames. As Orochi closed in on Shiranui, sharpened claws glistening, a gigantic tree suddenly sprouted forth, shielding the wolf. Shiranui fought gallantly to gain the upper hand. However, Orochi, protected by a mystical power, was not easily bested. Shiranui, covered in gashes, majestic coat dyed crimson, stood exhausted before the mighty Orochi. Long story. This is why I didn't do it in Japanese. Orochi saw a chance to strike what would be the final blow, but Shiranui refused to give in. With its last ounce of strength, the majestic wolf gazed heavenward and unleashed a mighty howl. Suddenly, the black clouds overhead dissipated. The light from above glinted off Nagi's sword as a beacon of hope. Guided by his sword, Nagi, who had been taking shelter in the shadows, stood proudly to face his adversary, channeling all his strength into his scarred and battered arms. He leapt ferociously toward Orochi, his sword poised high. The golden sword danced in his hands like a puppet on a string. One by one, Orochi's fearsome heads separated from their owner. Orochi's broken body collapsed in a lake of its own blood. In that instant, the curse that plagued the villagers was lifted. As the battle subsided, the sun shone once again in the sky. Shiranui had succumbed to Orochi's poison and struggled to breathe. Nagi scooped the beast into his arms and returned to Kamiki. When they reached the village, Shiranui was no longer moving. The village elder gently stroked the wolf's head. In response, Shiranui let out a hoarse and pitiful bark, then closed its eyes and drifted off as if into slumber. Poor Shiranui. Peace had at last returned to Kamiki village. In honor of Shiranui's heroic exploits, the villagers erected a shrine and placed a statue of the wolf within it. Nagi's sword was christened Tsukuyomi and placed inside the moon cave. The villagers all looked forward to an age of endless peace. However, this is not the end of the story. There is more to this tale than most people know. 100 years has passed since Nagi and Shiranui's heroic exploits. It happened so quickly that no one in the village even took notice. Is this the legendary sword? Is this Tsukuyomi, the sword that banished the dreaded Orochi? No, it couldn't be. It's just a legend. Nothing but a fairy tale. Ah, poop. Now, in case you're wondering, these are, of course, the ancestors of the original participants in the earlier folktale, but they resemble them 100%. Oh, he who seeks power, he who has broken my bonds, speak the words. I wish darkness unto the world. Utter that prayer unto me, and unleash my power. So, of course, that's supposed to be the ancestor of Nagi, and they change his name to Susanoo. Of course, he hasn't been introduced yet, but it's not. I'm not ruining the story. It's not a mystery. The art style is so sick on this, and the beautiful thing about the cell shading of this, in the kind of like high key imagery, is that this translates well into future consoles. Like, it doesn't become outdated. A horrible tragedy suddenly swept over the land. However, there was one village that seemed to escape the terrible curse. The tiny settlement of Kamiki Village enjoyed the protection of a sacred tree. It is here that the real story begins. Wood Sprite Sakuya. She's more of a goddess, really. But I guess it makes sense because in their world there's many different gods. So what we would consider a god, she's much weaker than. So I like the translation of Sprite. How troublesome. This is just like the ancient prophecy of doom. What has transpired to bring about such calamity? We must act quickly. There's no time to lose. My power has diminished over the years I've spent protecting this area. I don't have much time left in this world. Amaterasu, now is the time. We have never needed your power more. Shine your divine light upon this broken and polluted world. Let your heavenly rays become our hope as you guide us all. Amaterasu is the sun god, and arguably the sky god, if you understand theology. The sky god is like the top high god in a hierarchy of other gods. Okami Amaterasu. Ah, such divine white light, such beauty and grace. The only one capable of such a wondrous spectacle is none other than our mother and the origin of all that is, Amaterasu. How delightful to see that the Savior, whose brave sacrifice sealed away the evil demon so many years ago, has not changed one bit. Seeing you emerge after so many years spent as a statue brings happiness to my heart. You're boring me. Amaterasu, gaze above you and take in the condition of the sky. Since your untimely departure from our midst, the world has succumbed to devious and vicious beasts. They have ravaged our fine and bountiful country of Nippon. Nippon means Japan in Japanese, so. But never have the circumstances been worse than they are at this very moment. Please use your powers to banish the darkness and punish those who would do us harm. Eh? What is this? Has something stolen its way into my robe? That tickles. Phew. What on earth? You again. This is also a character from Legend.
Ow, 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 ow. Are you nuts? Boy, for a little thing, you sure make a big fuss. I was just trying to make the conversation a bit more interesting, that's all.
Were you napping in my clothes again, Bug?
Bug? I told you 1,000 times not to call me that. I'm a wandering artist. The name's Isun.
Wandering artist Isun.
I'll show you just how great I am, and it won't be long till you're bowing before my great brush.
I love how they use like old style art in this. It's awesome.
Well, what do you think? Even cuter than the real thing, no?
I love it.
What's with you, Furball? You look kinda down in the dumps. Actually, you look kinda familiar. Got it! You look just like that statue of Shiranui.
Mogu, mogu, mogu.
Whoa, what do you think you're doing? Are you crazy? A handsome guy like me should never be covered in wolf slobber. You'll regret messing with the great Isun. Don't make me use my prize sword, Denkomaru, against you.
Time to get serious, y'all.
What's that growling sound? And why is it so dark anyway?
Oh, great God, I always mess this up. Amaterasu, I've used all the power I have to protect Kamiki village. The village lives on. Their spirits lie encased in my fruit. Cut it free, and the village will be reborn. I trust in you. I know that you will lead us down the right path. Only your awesome power can restore life to the world.
The trees returned to normal, huh? That Sakio girl sure said some weird stuff. The villagers' spirits are being kept inside the fruit? That's the fruit. That girl said that if you cut it down, the village will be restored? But it's awfully high up there. If you don't use some kind of special power, there's no way you're gonna reach it. This darkness is really getting to me, too. A lot can happen while you're taking a nap.
Okay, finally, we're in the game. Unfortunately, it's going to be very short-lived. I'm sorry, guys. The intro's so long on this game. But it's interesting. It's interesting, so...
Where are we? It got awfully quiet all of a sudden. I don't remember any place like this in the village. Well, we better keep our eyes peeled. You can use the right stick to look around. Boy, you really look so helpless. You sure you're gonna be okay?
Sorry, I'm gonna skip over the dialogue that introduces the controls. Oh, no. No, I forgot. Sorry, there's a screaming child outside. No, 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 no. Is it select then? Yeah, we've got to change those. No, 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 we're not doing that. Yes. Yes. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. They say once your reflection appears on the surface, your memory, blah, blah, blah. It's a magic mirror, basically, is what he's saying. He's just telling me that I can save here. Let's avoid overriding my other save data. Okay. Here we go.
Look at all those pots just waiting to be broken. If you bust them, there might be something good inside. Press Y to bust them with your head. Way to go, my furry friend.
Yeah, sorry. It's really inconsequential to the story. Except where we missed the name of that magic mirror. That could have been interesting. My apologies. But again, I'm trying to give you guys something to enjoy here. Some gameplay.
Hold on there, Furball. Get a load of that. That chest looks mighty empty. Let's go check it out.
Did he say empty? I don't know. I knew you could do it. They say good luck is blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we got a Holy Bone S. It's cool, like, once you've, like, lived in Japan and you kind of, like, get to experience the old culture, in Japan, playing games like this, like, make a lot more sense. Or are a lot more endearing, I guess, because you can start to understand, like, those wooden statues and stuff like that are popular, you know? Like the Hokkaido bear, for example. The bridge is out. This shouldn't be hard for Amaterasu. That's kind of long. Mind if I call you Amy? Listen, Amy, ever heard of the spirits of the brush? Good brushwork has its own soul. At least that's what they say. Just watch. It'd take all day to explain. A picture is worth 1,000 words. Yep. I see. Yep. Thank you. Yeah. The god brush strokes. There's a god of the brushes in this game, and they imbue you with power, brush stroke power, and you can use special on-screen, like, strokes of a brush to do power. So wow, look at that, stars twinkle. I haven't seen such a beautiful nighttime sky in ages. Hey, look! Are those stars forming a pattern, or is it just me? There's one missing. Guess I'll just have to draw the missing star. Looks like I'm just not ready. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let me do it. Shut up. Wow. Wow. It's a bit toasty in here today. Why, if it isn't Mother Amaterasu, I apologize for not contacting you sooner during these long years. Having never forgotten you, I, Yomigami, God of Restoration, have eagerly awaited this day when we could again meet. While you were away, the 13 spirits of the brush that you once possessed, including myself, have been scattered across this land of men and now lie in disarray. I became a constellation and managed to survive until now. The time has come for you to seek out and reunite all the techniques. Your power is what is needed to restore the dried riverbed of the heavens and renew the flow of stardust. Essentially, it's the Milky Way galaxy, which is another legend in Japanese, or in Japan, I should say. Now you can do restoration. River of the Heavens. Why didn't they just call it the Milky Way? I'm pretty sure in the original game they call it the Milky Way in Japanese. There's an old legend about Orihime and Hikoboshi, and it's a story about two lovers in heaven, and they were so in love. Fix the river. They were so in love that they didn't work, and so the king separated them by the Milky Way. And yeah, you love my paint job? Yeah, look at that. I'll paint your walls. But a river of stardust. Anyways, he separated them by the Milky Way. And so once a year they get to meet. The rest of the year they have to work. So yeah, you obtained Astral Pouch. Yeah, that means I can save up a lot of food in this game. This is pretty cool. They've got like a bunch of different popular foods in Japan, especially fruits, and they kind of give you a fun little description. You got an apple. Nectar-filled sour apple fills Astral Pouch a little bit. So the food you consume, peach. Juicy and fragrant peach fills Astral Pouch a little bit. So they have a bunch of different foods in this game. You consumed orange. Orange with sharp citrus taste fills Astral Pouch a little bit. Now that's a tangerine actually in the original Japanese. Mikan or tangerine is very popular in Japan. They have oranges too, but Mikans are more popular. But, yeah, so it's just fun. The food has different values. There's a lot of different food that you can encounter in the game. Again, popular Japanese foods. So it's nice to see that kind of stuff get added into. I wonder if I have the cut ability. Not yet. Okay. It's just fun to see that kind of stuff get introduced into these games because it kind of teaches you things about Japanese culture, whether you realize it or not. I hope the audio's not freaking out because I'm getting some weird audio distortion over here, like a computer exploding sound. You know, like probably is. I need more money, guys, so that I can buy some like appropriate equipment. Yeah. Is this a legendary shrine? We must be in the cave of Nagi. The legendary hero Nagi is enshrined here.
He vanquished evil 100 years ago with the help of the White Wolf Shiranui.
It's a bit of video lag. Dang it. First the River of Heavens and now this place. Where the heck are we, Furball? Boy, this place is a wreck, see? That sword's in really bad shape. The gods sure didn't do much to protect this place. And that's our cue. That really was your brushwork all this time. How'd you get so good exactly? Who are you anyway? Hey, there's another constellation. This one looks like a mouse. Oh, dang. He's packing over here.
Well, well, well. If it isn't Mother Amaterasu. It's been a long time, but with all these monsters around, the only place I could hide was in this shrine dedicated to an ancient hero. If there is anything I can do to assist you in your endeavors, I'm at your service. Make good use of this sword, as it was designed to conquer evil.
Dang, I think my PC is struggling over here.
Hey, that was God Tachigami, master of the power slash technique. Wait a minute, if you're getting all these powers, then you're just like that Shiranui. You know, the wolf who fought and died alongside the great Nagi? When Shiranui died, the wolf's power was split into 13 brush gods. This is crazy. Shiranui and Nagi is just like the legend. Well, anyway, I've never seen this power slash technique myself. How about showing off stuff on that boulder over there? Let me see you slice it in half by drawing a single line. I didn't even think you had it in you for a ball. I'm not even in the same league as you. Guess I really overestimated myself. Hey, Furball, Amaterasu, I made up my mind. If you're Shiranui reborn, then that means you can master all 13 techniques, right? In that case, I'll tag along until I'm as good as you. Lucky you.
He's like, get off me. I should say she. She's like...
It's no use trying to change my mind. There's no stopping me once I've made a decision. But enough about me. Now that you've mastered the power slash, you can cut down that thing Sakio was talking about. Let's go back and give it a shot.
And now they're saying, hey, go this way. There we go. Power slash. Yeah, and another cool thing about this game is the environmental destruction. It's so fun. You can blow up stuff, you can cut down things, burn things. It's awesome.
Oh no! What the? Where'd they come from? Oh, whatever. Draw first, ask questions later, right? You know that divine instrument you have on your back? Well, press Y to use it.
Yeah, okay. I know how to do this. Okay, yep. I don't need you to tell me. Nope, shut up. Yes, I got a demon fang. Yeah, that's right. If you kill them carefully, you can get a demon fang from them by... Like, you have to deplete their HP to 0, and then cut them in half. If you accidentally hit them after you deplete their HP to 0, you cannot get a demon fang after them. You have to... The next hit has to be cutting them. Later on, you'll get an ability where you can get them by demoralizing them and humiliating them. But as of right now, you cannot. So the only way is to cut them. So start early, man, because you're gonna fight so many enemies anyways. So starting at the very beginning is the best way to make sure that you can collect plenty of demon fangs, because they're worth it. Boom. That's what I'm talking about. By the way, you can drown. You can drown, but I think in this area, since this is a magical river, you cannot. But later on, you can easily drown, so you got to be careful trying to get special items and stuff like that. Alright, I would like to continue, but I've got to go, unfortunately. So this here ends our first playthrough. Okay, good. Right. Just making sure I was going to overwrite the wrong one. Alright, y'all. Transition. If you like what I do here, give me a like, share, subscribe. Give me some recommendations down in the comment section. I've got my hands on Eastward. Thanks, Kyle, for that recommendation. We will be doing a playthrough of that, a blind play, so I'm really excited. It looks really good. Definitely Earthbound inspired, so I'm all over it. And as always, love, peace, and Afro Grease. And I'm out of here.